The first and foremost thing, the world look like completely unsafe, right? Nothing is safe in this time, it seems, neither health nor wealth. Okay. But one thing, we are fortunate, which is safe, which is our profession and our degree. We all are chartered accountants and we are proud of it. Then let me start with the other panelists first, okay, and let me mold question for them. Okay. Nilesh bhai, globally, situation is like nobody is believing anyone. No country believes other countries, and especially in the environment where everything is stalled, jammed, stand still. How long it will take for global economies to revive? Yeah, Nilesh, please start.
थैंक यू अनिल जी. ऐसा नहीं है कि countries don't trust each other. There are two oldest civilizations in the world, India and China. One gave Wuhan virus to the world. Other is dispatching hydroxychloroquine tablet. एक दर्द दे रहा है, दूसरा दवाई दे रहा है. एक जख्म दे रहा है, दूसरा मरहम लगा रहा है. Now to expect that every country in the world is not going to trust someone who is sending virus, I can accept it. But to believe that every country in the world is not trusting the country which is sending life-saving tablets, I think it will be exaggeration. So, yes, world has come through a very tough time, unprecedented challenge. We have to work with each other to survive the current downturn. Second, we have seen Standard and Poor's giving 3 years time to Italy, whose debt to GDP ratio is very, very high, almost 2 times that of India, saying that, भैया आप खर्चा करिए, कोई problem नहीं, we will not downgrade your rating. So at least for few privileged countries, rating agencies have started adopting approach that if you are going to spend money on COVID-19, we will not impact your rating. Now let's hope and pray that democracy prevails. Rating agencies don't differentiate between white skin and black skin. नीचे तो सबका खून लाल ही है. So there will be more spending from the government also. Undoubtedly, this is the most toughest period, unprecedented challenge. But between central bankers and central governments, by providing monetary and fiscal stimulus, we could be in a scenario where things could be reasonably in good shape if medical solution emerges. If I have to sum up, let's see, on x-axis you have medical solution which is coming early to late, and you have financial and monetary stimulus which is coming from low to high. I'm just trying to draw it.
Yes.
Depending upon when medical solution emerges,
okay,
and how much fiscal and monetary stimulus we give, it will determine what happens to the economy. I hope you can see this.
Yes,
this is medical solution early to late, and fiscal and monetary stimulus from low to high. In this scenario, where your medical solution emerges early and fiscal and monetary stimulus is high, your recovery will be V-shaped. Let's say in the month of May or June, we have vaccine and drugs which can cure coronavirus. Government will lift economic activity, and government and central bank bets like Virat Kohli hitting 4s and 6, then recovery will be very fast. In the extreme scenario where medical solution emerges very late and our fiscal and monetary stimulus is very, very poor, our recovery will be L-shaped. गिरेंगे जोर से, ऊपर उठने का नाम ही नहीं लेंगे. So it all depends upon when we get medical solution and when we get fiscal and monetary stimulus.
तो इस वक्त 3 चीजों की सख्त जरूरत है: दवा, दुआ और दया. दवा मिल जाए कोरोना की, दुआ हमें सरकार की मिल जाए पैसे के तौर पर, स्टिमुलस पैकेज, दया ऊपर वाले की हो, तो वी शेप रिकवरी कैन बी सीन. बट पॉइंट इज, नवनीत जी, आई एम कमिंग टू यू. Do you think the solution is so near or so, I mean, can we foresee this solution in near future?
एक महीने पहले काफी होप लग रही थी मेडिकेशन के में या वैक्सीन वगैरह में, लेकिन अभी ऐसा लग रहा है शायद हो सकता है उसमें कुछ ज्यादा समय लग जाए, और धीरे धीरे अब शायद हमको उस रास्ते पर जाना पड़ेगा कि क्योर की बजाय प्रिवेंशन पर ध्यान दें. आज रोड्स में एक्सीडेंट्स होते हैं, पर हमने क्या करा, रोड अच्छी बना दी, डिवाइडर बना दिए, रोड लाइट लगा दी, कहीं पॉट होल है तो उसको ठीक कर दीजिए, कहीं पे स्पीड लिमिट लगा दी, इंडिकेटर्स लगा दिए, गाड़ी में सीट बेल्ट लगा दिए, एयर बैग्स लगा दिए. मेरे को लगता है धीरे धीरे ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी को प्रिवेंशन पर ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. 1-1.5 साल लगेगा एक वैक्सीन आने में, या कोई ड्रग को कंप्लीटली क्योर हो जाए ऐसा, या अगर बिल्कुल ठीक हो सके ऐसा होने में. तब तक शायद हमारे पास एक ही तरीका है कि हम प्रिवेंशन पर ध्यान दें और इकोनॉमी को हम कैसे वापस बैक टू ट्रैक या बैक टू नॉर्मल सी ला सकें. और उसमें एक चीज ध्यान रखने की है, जो इसमें सबसे ज्यादा खतरा है किसको है, इसमें सबसे ज्यादा खतरा है जो लोग ओल्ड हैं, जो फ्रेल है, जो मतलब किसी को अगर बहुत ज्यादा डायबिटीज और साथ में कुछ अगर लंग डिजीज वगैरह है, उनको हम एज ए सोसाइटी किस तरह से सिक्योर कर लें, ताकि जो आज यंग पॉपुलेशन घर पे बैठी है और नहीं काम कर पा रही है वो भी कर पाए. मेरे को धीरे धीरे लग रहा है उस तरफ से. आज आप 2 व्हीलर चलाते हैं अगर एक्सप्रेस वे पे या रोड पे, तो आपको रिस्क है, तो आपने एक हेलमेट लगा लिया. मेरे को लग रहा है कोई ना कोई ऐसा प्रोटेक्टिव गियर वगैरह बन जाए, ऑफिसेज में डिसइंफेक्शन, ऑफिसेज में सपोज सैनिटाइज करके, बिल्डिंग्स को सैनिटाइज करके, पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट को सैनिटाइज करके, अगले कुछ महीनों में धीरे धीरे. मैं आपको खाली 1-2 डेटा पॉइंट बताता हूँ. भारत में 800-900 लोग बाग टीबी से मर जाते हैं, इससे बहुत बहुत ज्यादा लोग. अमेरिका में द नंबर ऑफ पीपल हु हैव डाइड इन लास्ट 1 month कंपेयर टू द लॉन्ग टर्म एवरेज इज लोअर. कोरोना में इतने लोग जिनकी डेथ हो गई, उनका नंबर तो हम देख रहे हैं. कई जने जो एक्सीडेंट से डेथ होती है, कई जनों की जो वायलेंस में डेथ होती है, वो नहीं हुई इस पीरियड में. तो डेथ बहुत रीजन से होती है, ये इतनी फैटेलिटी रेट इसकी हाई नहीं है. अगर हम सोसाइटी ओल्ड पीपल को, अगर जो लोग फ्रेल हैं और कोई डिजीज की वजह से जो ज्यादा खतरे में है, उनको निकाल पाए, तो धीरे 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 हमको नॉर्मल से की तरफ बढ़ना पड़ेगा. लॉकडाउन की वजह से भारत में बहुत अच्छा प्रभाव रहा है. गवर्नमेंट ने, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट ने जो काम किया है, उसकी वजह से हम काफी बचा पाए, और विश्व के विकसित देशों को भी भारत से कई चीजें सीखने को मिलेगी. लेकिन मेरे को लग रहा है पूरे विश्व में अगले कुछ महीनों में हमें इसके साथ जीने की भी आदत डालनी होगी, जैसे हम दूसरी कई बीमारियों के साथ जीते हैं.
ओके, सुनील जी, 22 साल में 10 रुपए से एनएवी 1000 रुपए कर देना, ये कमाल आपने किया है. डू यू थिंक if given a chance, this is the time you can again do it? If you invest at this point in time, in next 22 years, 10 rupees to 1,000 rupees, is that possible at this point in time?
I think as equity investors, you should be an equity investor only if you are an optimist. अगर आपको लगता है कि कल अच्छा होगा आज से, तो ही आपको इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर होना चाहिए. एंड आई थिंक वी आर ऑल ऑप्टिमिस्टिक इक्विटी इन्वेस्टर्स, एंड आई वुड definitely tend to believe that maybe it might take 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year, because these are unprecedented times. But I think it is always better to buy at 60 rather than 100, and you are getting an opportunity to buy almost everything at 60 rather than 100. So the probability of making that kind of returns today is much more than what it was 3 months back. I would put it that way. 3 महीने पहले अगर आप खरीदते, so to go back to that level would have taken you 2-3 years. I think to that extent, this is a much better time to buy and make higher returns than it was 3 months back.
Absolutely. Ramji sir, I think अगर आपका ऑडियो अब ठीक हो गया, we were just waiting for your thoughts.
The fear factor somehow in the markets worldwide and led by US, the markets did fall very rapidly. I mean, by almost 30%, but quickly it kind of rebounded back. Today, the fear has not deepened. That's what seems to be the situation. And even in India, if you see, the mutual funds are yet, even in March, there is a good amount of subscription. And there is, even among the clients, they're all looking to buy. So there is, I mean, you must buy, you must become greedy when others are fearful. Market has fallen beyond doubt, but if fear level gone to a level where buffets of the world will come with their money back. So it seems that there is still in wait and watch kind of situation, and maybe hoping that and second thing is for them, what is important is that they are the biggest, maybe 15, 20, 30 trillion dollars of risk they have written. And this is very unusual situation. Many risks have fructified simultaneously from various sources, which they would have never imagined. So quite possible, they might be expecting unusually large claims. So before this, this entire storm tides over, they may not be wanting to commit their cash, which they want to preserve for payouts if at all it is required, but knowing that they are the largest insurers. So that could also be another thing. But Charlie Munger went on to say just a week or 10 days back that their phone is waiting. They're not. The phone is not ringing. The panic calls are not coming to them. So I think, and I would say that in my investing experience in last 35 years, there were 3 instances of 65% collapse, 2/3 collapse. Harshad Mehta Bull Run and 5 and then global financial crisis collapse. Every time it collapses, it takes time for it to recover. In 2000, it took 18 months to see the bottom of the market. In 2008,
Yes.
it took 12 to 13 months. In 40 days, while the trouble is on and nobody knows what is going to the end and what is the shape of end, I would think that it is too, I'm almost convinced that it is too early to call a bottom. Whether the market will go below what it went to 7,500 or not, I don't know. And nobody knows, let me tell you. In fact, you should say, okay, I have put in 10 rupees, let the market go down by another 10%. So that you can put another 10 or 20% lower than the levels which you have bought. I mean, this is wishful thinking, but I think it is a play of little longer term and not, it is not going to be a very quick recovery in 30-40 days.
Okay. Navneet ji, coming to you. We never thought that any assets price could go negative. So पहली चीज तो ये कि कहीं महीनों तक घर में बंद होकर बैठना पड़ेगा, सब कुछ बंद हो जाएगा, ऐसा सोचा नहीं था. ये भी नहीं सोचा था कि कुछ खरीदने के ऊपर से पैसे मिलेंगे. If you buy a barrel, then you get $37-40. So what does it teach us? Can we have so many negatives coming in short time that there could be many disruptions in the near future?
So, पूरी दुनिया में कमोडिटी के एक बहुत बड़े एक्सपर्ट्स हैं जिम रॉजर्स. उन्होंने एक बार बोला था कि और कोई फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स का प्राइस जीरो जा सकता है, लेकिन कभी कोई कमोडिटी का प्राइस जीरो नहीं जा सकता है. लेकिन वो चला गया. लेकिन एक ध्यान रखिए, वो फ्यूचर्स मार्केट में गया है. आप अगर चाहो कि मैं एक 10, 50 या 100 मिलियन या 1 मिलियन बैरल ऑयल खरीद लूं और कोई मेरे को ऊपर से पैसा भी दे दे, ऐसा नहीं हुआ है. वो एक सेटलमेंट है जो एक पर्टिकुलर आर में होता है. टेक्निकल में अपन उसको नहीं जाएंगे, काफी चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट्स हैं, उनको समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है. पर वो एक फ्यूचर्स मार्केट है और कई बार बिकॉज वो स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी पूरी भर गई और आपको अगर अपना सेटलमेंट अगले महीने में शिफ्ट करना है और स्पॉट में कोई बायर ही नहीं है, तो वो कोई भी प्राइस पर सेटल हो सकता है. तो उसमें ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाना चाहिए. पर ऑयल के बारे में अनिल जी अपनी पहले भी बात हुई है कि सब लोग बात करते हैं दुनिया में एक बड़ा डिमांड शॉक है कि डिमांड कम हो गई, अगर आप चाहो तो भी खर्चा नहीं कर सकते हो. एक सप्लाई शॉक है कि फैक्ट्री बंद पड़ी है या फैक्ट्री चालू है तो लेबर नहीं है, लेबर है तो वर्किंग कैपिटल नहीं है, वर्किंग कैपिटल है तो सप्लायर नहीं है, सप्लायर है तो कस्टमर नहीं है. मैंने बोला था कि तीसरा ऑयल शॉक भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ऑयल का प्राइस बहुत नीचे जाना ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स, ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी के लिए अच्छा नहीं है, क्योंकि ऑयल इकोनॉमी जो है, जो एनर्जी कंपनीज है, वो क्रेडिट मार्केट्स के बहुत बड़ा भाग है. यूएस में जो शेल कंपनीज है वो इतना पैसा बोरो करती है, उनकी वजह से पूरे क्रेडिट मार्केट पर इंपैक्ट आता है और पूरे विश्व में जो भी कंपनियां पैसा बोरो करती है उनके स्प्रेड्स भी बढ़ जाते हैं. कई जो पहले शायद नीलेश भाई ने किसने इंडिकेट किया था कि जो सॉवरेन वेल्थ फंड्स है उन सब के पेट्रो डॉलर जनरेशन नहीं है, तो वो फाइनेंशियल मार्केट्स में सेलिंग करते हैं उनकी इकोनॉमीज को बचाने के लिए। तो ट्रंप ने जो कोशिश करी सऊदी अरेबिया और रशिया के साथ और कुछ और कंट्रीज को मिला के ऑयल को स्टेबल करने की, इनफैक्ट कई जने बोल रहे हैं कि वो ईरान के अगेंस्ट में जो एक जियोपॉलिटिकल रिस्क बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वो भी शायद इसीलिए कर रहे हैं कि उसकी वजह से ऑयल के प्राइस थोड़े से ऊपर चले जाएं, बिकॉज काफी इकोनॉमीज दुनिया की ऑयल पर डिपेंडेंट है। तो ऑयल का नीचे जाना हमारे लिए अच्छा है, इंपोर्ट हमारे कम हो जाते हैं, पर बहुत नीचे जाना भी पूरे विश्व के लिए अच्छा नहीं है।
एब्सोल्युटली। नीलेश भाई, आप तो इकोनॉमिक एडवाइजरी काउंसिल के मेंबर भी हैं। आपने भी एक वो चार्ट बना के दिखाया था। सो वी हाउ वी शेप रिकवरी कुड कम। वन इज ऑन वी हैव सम प्रोग्रेस ऑन मेडिकल फ्रंट एंड आई विश ऑल द बेस्ट टू साइंटिस्ट ऑफ ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी हु हैव ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड वैक्सीन ट्रायल ऑन ह्यूमन। आई होप कि वो सक्सेसफुल हो और जल्दी वैक्सीन सितंबर अक्टूबर तक मिल जाए तो मजा आ जाए। बट टेल मी वन थिंग, ऑन द अदर साइड we are waiting for a stimulus package or relief package, whatever you call it. And since the lockdown, media has announced at least 30-40 times this package is coming. So what do you think, what should come, how the package should be, and what kind of relief to various industry or markets or economy we can expect for?
Anil bhai, if we see today, broadly, there are two kinds of problem. One, let's call cash flow mismatch problem. Second, we call survival issue. Now, let's say there is a company which is not able to sell anything today, but has valuable assets and needs money to pay salaries, needs money to pay some taxes, rent, electricity, and so on and so forth. Now, this company does not require any fiscal support. It only requires monetary support, that you have a cash flow mismatch problem. Here is money, use this and pay your expenditure. The second is a survival issue. These companies have value in future only if they survive the downturn. And today, unless until they get a grant or a aid or a stimuli, they won't be able to survive when the upturn occurs. So people who have cash flow mismatch issue, they should be given monetary stimulus, and people who have survival issue, they should be given fiscal stimulus. बस ये दो सिंपल तरीके गवर्नमेंट को रखने पड़ेंगे।
तो फिस्कल स्टिमुलस और सर्वाइवल स्टिमुलस। ओके, मेरे अंदर का जो जर्नलिस्ट है वो जानना चाहता है कि जो कल फ्रैंकलिन में हुआ, परसों क्यों हुआ, क्या हो, उसका क्या इफेक्ट होगा, उसको मैं थोड़ी देर बाद आता हूं। लेकिन उससे पहले सुनील जी, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ स्टिमुलस इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर इंडियन इकोनॉमी? दैट आई वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू।
It is expected that the peak fiscal deficit for US will touch 18%. Hear it properly, 18%. In India, we have this concept of fiscal, discipline, and 3.5%, 3.5% also fiscal deficit happens. We get paranoid, our bond market guys get, spoofed and so on and so forth. I don't understand why we cannot live with a fiscal deficit of 5-6%. When the world is also doing the same. If US is printing and Eurozone is printing and Japan and China, everyone is trying to support their, economy. I think we have done hardly anything. A $25 billion, 1,75,000 of social stimulus, 3,75,000 crores of liquidity stimulus. And that also is not working because all the liquidity which the RBI has injected is come back to them. Banks are sitting on deposits. They don't want to lend. I don't know why they are called banks. They should be called depositors because they just take deposits and keep it in with RBI. They don't want to take risk. So I think we need a massive economic stimulus till it is too late. I think these are unprecedented times, as I said earlier. None of us have seen what we are seeing right now. Even if the economy starts to open up, I think they better start up soon. still it is going to take 4 or 5 months before we get into a normal kind of a situation. That means that, almost 5-6 months of a fiscal year, we would be operating at 25-30% capacity. That is a hit of almost $500 billion in economy. And I think we better use this oil benefit which we are getting and which the government is retaining and pump in some more and have an at least program of $100-200 billion of fiscal stimulus. And we better do it soon. अभी ज़्यादा time नहीं है हमारे पास.
Okay, रामदेव सर, बहुत सारे हमारे fellow chartered accountants हैं जो across the world they are working in different countries and they have been connected in this webinar. I just want to know, is this a big lesson for everyone across the world, the way things are changing? And if yes, what are the lessons we should learn from this period?
I think class is still not over. So I think we will keep learning as the things unfold. I mean, on 1st January, while Corona had happened in China, nobody on this earth ever said that Corona will eat entire 2020 for everybody. So the risk has, so we must understand there is a risk, and the risk has to be understood. So that, every time I keep thinking, what are the sources of risk, and as a portfolio manager, we try to diversify the risk in various ways by buying large companies, small companies, by buying diversified businesses, by buying multiple companies, by buying at different point of time, the wealth managers, they keep allocating between fixed income and equity income, and some people try to even buy gold and real estate to diversify so all kinds of diversification tools are being used to contain the risk. But risk in every asset class, in fact, the discussion on commodity price going below, how does a client manage his own portfolio in commodity? I mean, what could be the losses in speculation or coming to the markets? So I think the biggest lesson this time it is giving is on the risk. I mean, from where all risk is coming. And I think for the central banker, I mean, he is not able to. I mean, they must be struggling to figure out what is to be done, what is not to be done. Say there is a most reputed fund manager is shutting down the shop. What should be the response of the central banker? What should be the response of the government to be able to see, to be ahead of the curve? Because right now risk is coming from many sources. One is of course the health side. Second is close down of the economy. Hence the loss of revenue for the government. I think biggest challenge for the government is the loss of revenue, direct taxes and indirect taxes. And so much so that liquor shop has to be opened first. So what I'm saying is that crisis of revenue. So the risk, every player has different risks. Government has a different risk. One side they have to take care of the citizens, their health, and they're doing wonderful job. But other side they have to manage their balance sheet and their P&L. So, and everybody, here in all the viewers, they are all the risk managers of their own companies or companies for which they are working. So I think understanding the underlying risk in businesses or whatever your responsibilities are, even as a family man, what is your risk? So that entire risk definition, a lot of eyes are open, and like just 3 days back we learned one thing, that commodities, if you buy 10 crore worth of oil, you can lose 40 crores. That I learned first time. So there are a lot of, I think the tuition is not complete. I think this next 1 year will be many more valuable tuitions or expensive tuitions, lessons will come. But I think my biggest lesson is happening right now in more about the risk than anything else.
Lovely, very nice. And risk कब आएगी, किस वजह से आएगी और कितनी आएगी, दिस इज द बेस्ट लर्निंग. लेकिन नवनीत जी, एक बात मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ. इस वक्त पूरी दुनिया में वर्ल्ड वर्सेस चाइना है, और एट द सेम टाइम इन इंडिया वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट हाउ वी कैन गेट सम बेनिफिट आउट ऑफ दिस सिचुएशन. क्या इंडिया चाइना का सब्स्टिट्यूट बन सकता है? क्या हम ग्लोबल ट्रेड में प्रिफर्ड पार्टनर बन सकते हैं? क्या ये पॉसिबल है? इफ इट इज पॉसिबल, देन हाउ, एंड व्हाट गवर्नमेंट शुड डू to make it possible.
तो वो जो एक समय बहुत सालों से, बहुत दशकों से लोगों को एक इंतजार है कि कभी ऐसा समय आए जब इंडिया भी वो कर सके जो चाइना ने किया है, तो शायद वो समय है। अब हम उस अवसर का कितना फायदा उठा सकते हैं सब मिलके, वो देखने की बात है, और वो बहुत जरूरी है। पूरी दुनिया में इतनी एनिमोसिटी है अभी चाइना के लिए। विश्व के इतिहास में कभी भी सारी कंट्रीज ने एक कंट्री के अगेंस्ट में इस तरह से ओपनली, जो डिप्लोमेट्स होते हैं, माइक पॉम्पियो है जो सबसे बड़े, लाइक आप समझ लो जिनको डिप्लोमेटिक लैंग्वेज बोलनी होती है अमेरिका में, आप उनकी लैंग्वेज देख लो। कई जो ऐसे गवर्नर्स हैं उनके जो थोड़े से चाइना के फेवर में टिल्टेड रहते हैं, आप उनके स्टेटमेंट देख लीजिए। मुझे लगता है थोड़े टाइम में लोग मांगने लगेंगे कि 1944-45 में जब जर्मनी जापान से रेपरेशन मांगा गया था कि भाई आप मुआवजा दीजिए, हमारा जो लॉस हुआ है वॉर की वजह से, थोड़े टाइम में शायद लोग बाग कोर्ट में, ग्लोबल कोर्ट्स में केसेस चालू करेंगे कि चाइना से हमको मुआवजा लेना चाहिए। कि आज अमेरिका में हजारों लोग मर गए हैं या दूसरी कंट्रीज में इतनी लाइव्स गई है और इतना बड़ा इकोनॉमिक लॉस, $8-9 ट्रिलियन का इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट आएगा वो एक कंट्री में जो शुरुआत हुई उसकी वजह से। अब उसका फायदा उठाने का जहां तक सवाल है, तो अगर हमने कोशिश करी कि वो जो सप्लाई चेन शिफ्ट होगी, पहली बात तो मुझे लगता है ऐसा नहीं कि सब लोग कहीं एक ही कंट्री में आ जाएंगे। उल्टा जो रामदेव जी रिस्क मैनेजमेंट की बात कर रहे थे वो बहुत ही एक इंपॉर्टेंट बात है। कंपनीज भी कोशिश करेगी कि एक जगह ओवर डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहे। कुछ लोग होगा, अगर आज कोई हेल्थ केयर के इक्विपमेंट है तो इटली चाहेगा कि वो मेरे देश में ही बने, कुछ मैं डिपेंडेंट नहीं रहूं चाइना पे या इंडिया पे या कोरिया में। लेकिन कुछ कुछ ऐसी सप्लाई चेन हो सकती है जो हमारे यहाँ ऑलरेडी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में हो रही है, हमारे यहाँ केमिकल्स में हो रही है, लाइट इंडस्ट्रियल्स में हो सकती है, ऑटो एंसिलरी में हो सकती है, क्योंकि हमारे पास एक बड़ा फायदा है, लार्ज डोमेस्टिक मार्केट। तो जो चीज आज इंडिया इंपोर्ट कर रहा है जो बाहर से आ रही है, कम से कम वो तो यहाँ पर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, चाहे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में हो गई या दूसरी चीजें। हमारा सबसे बड़ा जो ट्रेड डेफिसिट है वो चाइना के अगेंस्ट में, वो जो चीजें वहां से बनकर आ रही है कम से कम वो तो यहाँ बन सकती है। और दूसरा जो रीजनल यहाँ से एक्सपोर्ट्स होते हैं आसपास में एशिया में, जैसे जापान है, जापान ने एक बड़ा $2 ट्रिलियन का स्टिमुलस दिया कंपनीज को अपना सप्लाई चेन चाइना से शिफ्ट करने के लिए। मेरे ख्याल में इंडिया उनका प्रिफर्ड पार्टनर रहेगा। जापान हमारे यहाँ सबसे बड़ा जो जीका वगैरह है, सारे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट में बड़ा पार्टनर है, स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर है। कई जापानीज कंपनीज चाहेगी। और ये पर इसमें जरूरी यह है कि चाहे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव, जुडिशियल, रेगुलेटरी रिफॉर्म्स इस तरह से हो कि कंपनीज को लगे कि यही बेस्ट जगह है आगे जाने के लिए। हमने जो टैक्स रेट कम करी, डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन टैक्स हटाया, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस पर हमने जो कोशिश करी, जीएसटी करा, डिजिटलाइजेशन करा, वो सब बहुत अच्छा था। लेकिन कोशिश करनी होगी कि हम एक रेड कारपेट लगाकर यहाँ पर बैठ जाएं और रेड टेप को हम यहाँ से हटा दें, और उसमें हमारे इंस्टीट्यूट की भी मेरे ख्याल में बहुत ही बड़ी भूमिका रहेगी।
एक चीज है वो क्लियर है कि दिस टाइम हैज चेंज सो मेनी थिंग्स, एंड वन थिंग which is going to be changed in near future is certainly the way we invest. So सुनील जी, मेरा सवाल ये है कि इन्वेस्टिंग पैटर्न में क्या कुछ बदलेगा? क्या कुछ ऐसे चेंजेस आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं जो होने वाले हैं?
Due respect to all the speakers, I think we are still in a very, very early phase. Whatever we are speaking is out of maybe a little bit of premature, view of how things are going to change, and it's very, very early. But some things will definitely change, maybe at least in the medium term, and I'll come to that. One is, even if the lockdown is lifted, shutdown is lifted, the propensity for all of us to go in crowded areas is going to be much lower. As far as possible, because of, at least in the near term to medium term fear, we are not going to go in crowded malls, in multiplexes, in theaters. We will try and travel less. We will not go in for holidays, at least in the near term. And I think all these sectors, whether they are hotels and airlines and all multiplexes, retail, are going to take a beating. Second is, I do think that there will be a reduction in spending, but not because people will want to save more, but because people will earn less. I think there are many people who would lose their jobs, and we can say that post Lehman was a different scenario. We had a financial meltdown. The world kept on doing what they were doing. Yes, few people lost their jobs, but the economy was running. We were not sitting at home doing nothing. I think here we are not being productive to the full extent as humanity. And I think we are definitely losing to that extent the global GDP. And jobs would be lost, salary levels will go down, businesses will make less money at least for the next 6 months, 12 months, and all this would lead to a reduction in discretionary spending. I think जो essentials चाहिए हमको, जो दाल चावल हमको खाना है वो तो खाना ही पड़ेगा. But जो spending, जो discretionary spending है, that might, I would say, change. And I would avoid anything to do with discretionary spending, at least for the next 6-8 months. You know, people get excited that these are defensive stocks, they never fall, this, that, ye, wo. I don't agree with all these things. I think discretionary spending is going to definitely take a beating. The other thing is this work from home is going to be now a standard feature. Even people who are not following that, companies who are not following that would now say that 20, 25, 30% of the people at any given point of time should work from home. So the need for real estate would reduce. The need for transportation to that extent would also reduce. And I think the need for more data will increase. We are all struggling with technology part of this program, and we know how desperately we need good telecom infrastructure. So I would say that real estate is going to face a lot of problem, whether it is commercial real estate, whether it is retail real estate. Developers will face issues. And on the other hand, telecom companies should do very, very well. The other thing is we have all realized that new age companies have all bounced back, whether it is Amazon of the world, Netflix of the world, even Microsoft of the world. And that is a way to be. After demonetization, our habits changed to using more cards and less cash. I think after COVID, our habits are going to change to maybe more online shopping and less visiting the malls. So companies which adapt to these would be the way to go. But I would reiterate, we are not going to have a V-shaped recovery. I don't think anyone should be in a hurry to go and buy everything tomorrow. My view would be that we will have a U-shaped recovery. If we are lucky, we will have a thin U. If we are unlucky, we might have a really, really fat U. And even if you want to invest, maybe take 4 to 6 weeks in putting in your money to work.
Thank God we never heard of O-shaped recovery, zero. At least that word is not coined so far, so we are lucky. At least I can say that much. Ramdev sir, in one sense you are different from all of us. Like you all are chartered accountants. अभी थोड़ा सा सुनील जी को छोड़ दीजिए, जिन्होंने जो एंटरप्रेन्योर बने, बाकी हम सब जॉब कर रहे हैं और सब फंड मैनेजमेंट में है. आप फंड मैनेजर के साथ साथ एंटरप्रेन्योर भी है. So you have two different hats. Okay. So tell me one thing. What as a fund manager you want from government, and what as an entrepreneur you want from the government?
So
Yes,
actually,
yes,
now
sir.
this is the most brilliant time to do non-financial stimulus for entrepreneurship. And the one single point non-financial stimulus, जो नवीन ने बोला, instead of red tape, make it red carpet. But this is the mindset change of the nation. I mean, nation as a whole. Regulators, bureaucracy, particularly regulators. And regulators, I don't know from where they get the guidance. I mean, they also need to really think and become a, kind of today in COVID, everybody is together. State, center, regulators, police, district authorities, hospital guys, citizens, everybody is together to fight it. But when it comes to creating jobs and pushing forward the business, I mean, how will you become global leader in anything? I don't think we lack anything. I mean, in technology, even capital, now there are plenty of capital available. But it is still not happening. So we have to learn from our own success of software story. So I think single-handedly, the government, the politicians, the state, center, I think the mindset of the nation has business. There is some kind of a anti-business tone all over. So I think that is a big opportunity right now because the whole country is together right now. So that I think is the one opportunity. As an entrepreneur, and of course I'm in services. I don't get obstacle anywhere. Let me tell you, I mean, as services, we are literally blessed and very fortunate, and even the regulator is very forthcoming. But I don't think that's the kind of situation all over the country, particularly in manufacturing. So that would be my expectation that can we seize this opportunity to become very pro business.
Uh, I think now, Nilesh bhai, I'm coming to you. The question which most of the people want to know the answer about, talk of the town. आप तो पहले फिक्स इनकम के एक्सपर्ट रहे हैं, उसके बाद इक्विटी और सीआईओ बने हैं, तो फिक्स इनकम इज इन योर ब्लड मोर देन इक्विटी, आई बिलीव. देन यू आर एमफी चेयरमैन ऑल्सो. नाउ पीपल आर थिंकिंग, क्या म्यूचुअल फंड्स वाकई में सही है? इक्विटी इज नॉट सेफ, कमोडिटीज आर नॉट सेफ, डेट जिसे हम सेफ समझते थे, क्या वो सेफ है? Whatever happened with Franklin Templeton, how mutual fund investors should keep their faith in mutual funds? This is the question.
So Anil bhai, it's always fair that people raise concern when something happens. When PMC Bank defaulted, it did raise concern among bank depositors. When Yes Bank was going through turbulent time, it did create doubt among investors. But I want to take you back to 2008, when ICICI Bank, one of the ATM went dry in one part of India. In those days, there was no WhatsApp, there was no Facebook, even 24/7 TV was not as prevalent as it is today.
Correct.
And despite that, the rumor spread that ICICI Bank is going down, and everyone rushed to withdraw money. Those were challenging times, but RBI and ICICI Bank senior management and all colleagues came together and kept branches open. They allowed people to redeem whatever they wanted to redeem. It was the depositors who lost out, because when they redeemed, they paid a premature withdrawal penalty, and ultimately they put the money in the same bank. So, one conclusion is that it is important to raise concern, but it is also important not to panic. Take decision based on facts, not on panic. What has happened with Franklin Templeton, they have done a call and people can ask them. I think they will be the best person to explain what they have done. I can explain on behalf of Association of Mutual Funds in India. If you are going to withdraw money from mutual fund to put it into, let's say, bank, well, our portfolio also has the same bank. If you want to withdraw money from us and going to give to Tatas, I also have same Tatas in my portfolio. So look at individual schemes portfolio and take your call. Should I redeem from this fund? Should I not? If you had taken this call yesterday, today or tomorrow, your answer would have been same, looking at most mutual funds portfolio. So don't panic, do your own research. You will find that in 95% of mutual funds portfolio, they have the same credit which you are comfortable with, and after withdrawing from mutual fund, you are going to put money into those assets only. तो फिर यहाँ पर redeem करने का क्या मतलब हुआ?
लेकिन नलिनी जी, पॉइंट वही है कि इज इट पॉसिबल फॉर अ कॉमन इन्वेस्टर टू डू दैट मच रिसर्च व्हेन अ म्यूचुअल फंड टू सम एक्सटेंट और ग्रेट एक्सटेंट फेल इन डूइंग दैट सेम रिसर्च? मेरे लिए कैसे पॉसिबल है, या एक कॉमन इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए कैसे पॉसिबल है? सो दे जस्ट आस्क वन क्वेश्चन, शुड आई रिमूव, शुड आई रिडीम एंड पुट माई मनी इनटू बैंक? व्हाट इज द आंसर टू दैट?
What Nilesh bhai just said, that you can also find a fund in mutual fund where you, instead of having one single bank, you can get exposure to 25 banks. There is a banking and PSU fund where the entire money is invested only in banks, and the top quality PSUs. Within that, the fund manager is trying its best to ensure that you don't invest in the banks, the names that Nilesh Bhai just took, which have gone into some trouble. If you are going to put money just in cash under the carpet, you can put that money in an overnight fund where the money is only going for against the government security to a bank on a day-to-day basis. If you are going to keep that money with, let's say, a Tata Group or some of those kind of groups deposits, you can have that kind of fund. There is a corporate bond fund where the entire investment is in high quality AAA assets. I just give you one number about the NBFCs where there has been a lot of concern. Exactly 2 years back, March 18, the total exposure of mutual fund industry was 4.5 lakh crore. That amount has come down to less than 2.5 lakh crore. The total write-off that would have happened, and we have gone through the most challenging period for the financial sector in our history of last 30 years. रामदेव जी, नीलेश भाई, सब लोग 30 साल से मार्केट में है. कभी भी हमने अपना मार्केट में ऐसा फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर में चैलेंज नहीं देखा है. Total write-off in that 4.5 lakh crore maybe 1% of that exposure, 1% or so of that exposure. But what happens that unlike an equity fund where you lost 40% in a Nifty index fund also, here a 2% loss also creates so much of noise. Think about it. In these funds that you talked about, people were making 10-12%. In fact, if I look at our last 1 year, 2 year, 3 year returns, they are very close to double digit, or some of the funds are double digit. I'm talking of fixed income funds in this environment also, because duration funds did extraordinarily well, interest rates have come down, and if you were in good credits, you did not lose money. The cost of keeping that cash is 2.5%. You go to SBI saving deposit, you put 2.75 or 3% के आसपास आपको प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक में मिलेगा. Versus you earn here 10%, there is a 7% gap. Even if there is a worst case scenario, 1 or 2 securities go bad in a year, out of let's say 4 or 5 year you keep money, you still get more than saving account in that year, and over a 3-5 year you make substantially higher than a bank. The mistake people make is in a year like this, they will move out, they will keep in cash. Interest rates would have fallen, maybe 10-year yield comes down to 5%. Then you put money again in a high duration fund, and then rates go up. यार म्यूचुअल फंड अच्छा नहीं, आप निकल जाओ. आप वो साइकिल को ट्राई करते हो, गलत टाइम पर एंट्री और एग्जिट कर देते हो, उसमें ज्यादा गलत हो जाता है.
Okay, now I'm heading towards concluding session. Couple of questions on market, because people expect me to talk about market and get some answers from you. So सिंपल छोटी सी चीजें हैं, एक दो चीज पूछ लेता हूं मैं. नीलेश भाई, न्यू हाई कब तक? लेट्स टॉक पॉजिटिव.
अनिल भाई, मैं वापस यही चार्ट ड्रॉ करूंगा.
उल्टा हो गया सर.
आप बता दीजिए.
ये तो न्यू पॉजिटिव बना रहा है आपका.
मैं हाई बता देता हूं. I don't think so. This is the time to focus on market in that sense. जैसे रामदेव जी ने बताया, ट्यूशन क्लास अभी चालू है, तो एग्जाम का रिजल्ट क्या आएगा कैसे बोल सकते हैं, अभी तो कीमत चुकानी है.
ओके, नवनीत जी.
See, if history is any guide, any time you have substantially negative returns in 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, the subsequent 3-5 years are good. There can always be time. रामदेव जी ने 2000 वाला बताया कि 2-3 साल लगे वो वापस पीक आने में, या 92 के बाद it took couple of years for that peak to come. It could be there, but I think if policy makers take in India also, if they take the right action, I'm sure there is a long way to go. ये कितने टाइम रहेगा, nobody really knows. And रामदेव जी ने शुरू में बोल दिया था किसी को भी नहीं पता है, तो मेरा बोलना तो बिल्कुल भी ठीक नहीं है. Nobody really knows how deep it can be and how long it can be. All we know is that at some point in time, a shining sun will come. That is the history of mankind.
Okay. So, Ramdev sir, everybody is pointing towards you. So, better you give the answer, sir.
Anil, in the fearful time when this correction is on, चाहे 6 महीने चले, साल भर चले, तो इसमें होता क्या है कि, let me just take 30 seconds. The world is not designed for lockdown. World is fundamentally not designed for lockdown. World is designed around the consumption. Human being, we all are living 24/7. Hence, the world economy runs 24/7. Now, what has happened is that we are using essentials right now. We have completely shut down the consumption of discretionaries. So all the businesses related to the discretionaries are in complete doldrums. Look at the airline, look at the hotels, look at the tourism. Global tourism is finished. I mean, this is unheard of. Entire Europe lives of tourism. Dubai lives of tourism. So this entire thing is very unprecedented, and all the discretionary consumption has been impacted. Now, even the corporate activities align to the discretionaries. Say your largest auto company, that's a say car company. Your entire, so there are a whole lot of companies and businesses which are catering to the discretionaries. Now, when will the discretionaries come back? That is a uncertain kind of situation. But what happens is that at this point of time, there will be a lot of bankruptcies and a lot of close downs of the marginal companies. So Corona will come, Corona has come, it will go. I mean, that's the optimism I have. Whether it takes 6 months or 1 year, 1.5 years, nobody knows. And the world, as Navneet was saying, world has and will learn to live with this Corona. So when it comes back in 12 months time or 18 months time, there will be fewer companies, but opportunity will be bigger. So am I getting the companies at below the intrinsic value price? Say if by chance company's net worth is the level of, I would say, price to book below 1. If that is the level of what you call valuation, I would say, if you are getting the companies below that, of course the companies are in trouble. That's why you are getting the companies below that. But this is the period of time when you will get the stocks below the intrinsic value of the company. And hence, that's why we say that companies which have gone below intrinsic value, this is the time to buy. Nobody on this earth, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, all put together, knows when the market will go to new high. I mean, past histories are there. It takes 2 years to 3 years to hit a new high. So from here, it might take 2024, whatever period. And from the bottom, this is the journey from bottom to top. I mean, this is decadal cleansing happening right now, and the markets are going to go from bottom to top. And in that bottom to top journey of 7-8 years, which happens once in a decade, the first 3-4 years is the most rewarding. Your compounded return can be 25 to 30% at an index level, and if it is well managed portfolio, it could be even 35-40%. So that's why we want to log into this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you.